New into stock we have a really nice car. It's a Citroen Grand C4 Picasso 1.6 HDI 16 valve VTR Plus, and it's a 2009 on an 09 plate, 29,760 miles. Really nice car inside and out, great spec, automatic, 7-seater, plenty of room in it, drives really nice too. It has multi-spoke alloys and it's sat on Michelin Primacy tyres as well. I always say that when people start to scrimp and scrape, the tyres are the first thing to go, and they stop replacing premium tyres with auto rans, so that's always a good sign. Got the roof bars, the side protective mouldings, electric boot release there, rear wash wipe. There's an integrated tailgate spoiler at the top there. The 7 seats, probably one of the easiest seats to unfold or deploy, whatever you want to call it, that I've seen in a 7-seater. Basically, we just pull that back. There's a little tag there. That's it, that's the seat up. Now, some of the others, it's like the Krypton factor trying to put them up, so that's really good. So you've got the 6 and 7 seats in the back there, and you can also fold the others flat. They fold individually, and you've got a really good cargo area. Reversing sensors in the back there, in the back bumper. The seat folds forward and goes upright, and this Citroen C4 is a lot easier to get into than some people carriers. Some you have to kind of step over the seat. With this one, you can come straight up onto the floor and pull yourself in. Only really suitable for a child or perhaps an adult on a short journey. You could perhaps just get your feet between the two rails there, or actually one either side. But anyway, it's there if you need them. But it's not easy to get out of. Quite a lot of room. I've got my seat a long way back. You probably wouldn't sit that far back, to be fair. And I've still got enough leg room here. Plenty of headroom. We've got nice little touches in the back here, like, sorry if I can just get those up. The rear blinds on the windows. These seats fold individually. There's Isofix anchor points. Really, so little picnic tray with a cup holder there, and also elastic band there, or a strap there to hold whatever, your phone. I think that's actually plastic. It looks like brushed aluminium, but it's a plastic trim there. But even so, it's nice and contrasty and looks good. I'll just take you for a ride. Remote central lock-in, proper key with a proper blade. Get the heater on straight away. It's freezing today. Just tell you about the service history. 0508 2011, 8,713 miles. It was serviced at J.A. Rigby & Sons. J.A. Rigby & Sons have helped us out many times over the years, so I can recommend them as a Citroen garage. And also Chapel Lane garage at Longton. They've been around a good number of years as well, so they're a good garage too. They did it on the 15th of the 7th 2013 at 14,480, and then 22nd of the 6th 2016 23,921. The car's done 29,765 miles now, so we'll give it a check over and a service before it goes out too. I think I forgot to say the fuel economy. Now, bearing in mind it's a 7-seater, it is pretty good. We've got urban 45.6, extra urban 64.2, and combined is 55.4. 0 to 60 time of 13.4 seconds, and a top speed of 112 miles per hour, 110 brake horsepower, 8 valve engine. Road tax 6 months £77, 12 months is 140. So that's pretty cheap too. Make sure my mic isn't catching there. And I'll take you for a ride in it. Now, the first time I jumped in one of these, I struggled to find the handbrake. I'm looking all over here and round here somewhere where they are, or foot brake or whatever, but it's actually there. And it releases when you drive off anyway. This, although it's automatic, it's not conventional automatic, it's kind of a semi or automatic clutchless manual, whatever, but it does its job. It's good. You can use it in automatic, or you can use the paddle shifts for manual. Just get a couple of things out of the way before I set off, and people give me a hard time about doing it when I'm driving. So there's power folding door mirrors. You've also got height and reach adjustable steering wheel there. Okay, gear stick or gear selector is on the top here, so we'll just put that in automatic, and your air conditioning controls are on the side there. We'll just move that, and then as soon as I press the accelerator, the handbrake goes off, and away we go. You can just knock it off yourself, just touch it. Lots of good features in this Citroen. As I say, the third row of seats, well, first of all, you've also got this massive windscreen, and you can slide your sun visor backwards and forwards, so it does make for this big expansive screen there, which I'll leave open because it's nice. The only thing is that the wipers don't cover all the screen, they only come up to here, but it's not too bad. So the third row of seats, very, very easy to get up. Basically, you just pull a little loop and it comes up. Others, you've got to come in through the back doors, put the seat squab down, and then go around, put the back seat up. As I say, just one movement and it's done. Very, very good design. You've also got other little features like the light in the boot doubles as a torch, which you can take out and use as a torch. It's just very, very well thought out. There's storage containers or cupboards or whatever, cubby holes, whatever you want to call them. Driver's side, passenger side, you've got a glove box there. All this is nice and empty. It's a nice flat floor. Cup holder there, big cup holder there that holds a big either a bottle or a very, very large takeaway cup. Cruise control, steering wheel's nicely designed, everything to hand. You've got paddle shift here, change down on the left, change up on the right. You can move the gear selector into manual there, and then just obviously change up and down using the shifters. CD radio, which you can cover up. I'm not sure why you need to do that, but it's still good. The speedo is nice and clear, nice big digital speedo. Tells you what you're in on the left hand side there, and your fuel gauges on the right, coolant temperature on the left, and also rev counter. And then it also tells you what day it is and what time it is in the middle in your information display. I'm sure there'll be some other things there, so we'll play about with it while I'm going. Now, I do have a soft spot for Citroens. We used to have all sorts of problems with them, electrical faults mostly, but they seem to have gone by the wayside now, and they're very reliable cars. I remember taking a Citroen in off a lady years ago, and when I was valuing a car, I went for driving it, and she said, "Oh, the driver's door window, the electric window, it's hit and miss whether it works. It's got an intermittent fault." So right, fair enough. But at that time, the wiring loom used to come through the dashboard, through the side, through the door, and into the door, and constantly opening the doors. Once it got to about 80,000 miles, and the doors had been opened hundreds of times, the wires used to break, and it was quite a simple fix. Just thread another piece of wire through and connect it, and you're away. So I assumed it was just going to be that, and probably a 10p fix. But when I took the door panel off, there was no motoring whatsoever, and the window was actually held up by a piece of wood. So how that worked intermittently, I'll never know. I can only assume the piece of wood dropped out and the window went down and she had to put it back up. But we have a saying in the motor trade, all buyers are liars. And although it's not a very nice saying, it can be true a lot of the time. You think car dealers are bad, privates are worse. Anyway, back to the car. So, nice comfortable seats, front centre armrest here. Not only do the back seats come up really, really easily, but it's quite easy to get into compared to some 7-seaters. The seat folds, the middle row of the seat folds upright and then slides forward, so you've got quite a big gap. Some 7-seaters, I struggle even to get my foot through the gap, so let alone the rest of my body. This is a very, very clean car. It's like brand new. The seats are like new. It's lovely outside. Tyres and alloys are all great. We've not even got the pictures on yet, and the phone's already started ringing. I like the feel of it. It's very, very roomy, light, airy, not claustrophobic at all, which some of the 7-seaters can be, especially when you've got 7 people in and a bit of luggage. So it's really, really well thought out. And being a little bit selfish, you may not have gathered this, but I like to have the controls where only the driver can reach them, so passengers can't mess about with the heater. My girlfriend's always turning the heater either up or down or whatever, and it winds me up. But she wouldn't be able to get it from over here because it's just there. So French women must be like that as well. Just trying to work out what that is. No idea. So on the end of the wiper stalk here, that controls your information display in the centre there. Let's press it a couple of times, see what happens. Yeah. Miles per gallon, average miles, how far you've got before you need to fill up. So that's good as well. All the information you need to hand. Just get up to 70. And then, do we have to switch it on? Limit, resume, naught. Set. I can't see anything coming on here. That's actually changing the colour of the display. So why is this not? Limiter showing. Right. So you have to turn it up. That's it. Just managed to figure it out before we're coming off the motorway. So let's just get to 70. Going too fast there. Click too many times. 71 at 2,500 revs. I'll just tuck in here. So it's off in the middle. Down is limit. Click up, it says reg. I thought it was resume at first, so it says reg there, so I imagine that means regulate speed. So regulate, and then just click or set, and that's plus or minus. That's increasing the brightness on the display. And then you've got your volume controls on the right hand side. Indicators on the left, wipers on the right. Your fuel flap release is down here. Just here, your electric window switches. Showed you the power folding mirrors already. The middle row of seats fold down individually as well, or you can have the 6th and 7th seat, either part of it as a load area with one seat up, or both of them up, or both of them down. Quite trust this guy in front. No. Nice clean lines on the car from outside. Looks really good. We've also on the middle row seats at either side got sunshades or sun blinds that you can pull up, keep the sun off the passengers. It actually feels faster than the 0 to 60 time would suggest. Oh, we've also got here a cool box. Put your sandwiches and your drinks in. I think it was probably the 80s, we used to have, not many vehicles do this, where the steering wheel turns and your centre panel stays in exactly the same place. But I think going back to the early 80s, there was a Citroen. I think we had a Citroen Palace in kind of a duck egg blue, and that was the same. And I'm sure it only had one arm to the steering wheel. It was just one, you know, like a swan neck sort of thing holding the steering wheel on. I do like this as well. Good visibility all round. The A pillars, I suppose that technically is the B pillar, which would normally be the A pillar in other cars, but the A and B pillar and the here don't cause massive blind spots. So going back to I can always tell how good a garage is by how they stamp the service book, whether they can actually be bothered to stamp it and write the date in and sign it. And on there, I think they're called Souther's Garage Longton anyway. I've passed it a million times, I should know. But there's even a sticker in the front window telling you when the vehicle needs servicing again. But we will do it again, and our garage are like that. They put a sticker in, so you can't, every time you get in the car you see the sticker and you don't forget. That number plate on that Evoque, I think it was, going the other way, looked like jiggered. Must be a farmer or a car dealer. A very, very nice car to drive, and absolutely great value for money. We've just sold a Galaxy that is a few years older than this, and I think it's done three times the miles. I'm sure it's done 96,000 miles, and that wasn't much less than this is. So if you need a kid bus, this would be ideal. Registered Range Rover in front there. I think the value of that will be starting to go up now instead of down. Also, you can always, one thing I will tell you, the first owner, I think, was disabled and has had a chairlift in the back. So there's just a couple of squares cut out of the, it's actually a board. So there's a couple of squares cut out of the board, but not really too detrimental. But when you get a car and the spare key and the other spare key are still on the ring that it came with, that's always good to see as well. You can tell it's been really looked after. Carpets are like brand new. Yeah, so just to recap that, you turn that wheel down, that speed limiter, you can set it so you don't go over a certain speed with you at the controls and controlling the accelerator. In the middle, nothing's on, and then you turn up, and instead of saying cruise or anything like that, it says red. It threw me for a short while. Then you get a light on the dash there, kind of a cruise control symbol. It's got off. Then you can either set, it would appear normally you can only set using the minus the first time and then regulate it using the plus or minus, or you can use the set plus here. Yep, I've just used it like that. So touch the brake, and yep, it sets off both, or it appears to set off both. Right, I was there's a lady in Sorrento, well-to-do lady, and she's still driving around in a Citroen Mahari, which I love, the old Jeep style. If I remember, I'll cut a picture of her. Well, I'll try and find the picture I took of her in her Citroen Mahari. It's I always think they were way ahead of the time. With the clutchless manual gearbox as well, you can, once you've driven it for a short while, you learn to just, when you want it to change gear, just as you would if it was a manual and you were just about to change gear, you let your foot off the accelerator and press the clutch. Well, on these, if you just, there's no clutch obviously, if you just let your foot off the accelerator slightly, that promotes a gear change, like that. So you accelerate again, just let foot off and it's changed again. And after a short while, you get to be an expert